ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम, फर्स्ट कैंटो, सेकंड चैप्टर, टेक्स्ट नंबर 32 onwards. The translation is: the Lord as super soul pervades all things just as fire permeates wood, and so he appears to be of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. So this is from Bhagavatam, which has been quoting from Mundaka Upanishad and Kathopanishad. How the Lord is present everywhere as Lord Vasudeva, and by his plenary portions, his existence can be perceived even within the atomic energy, matter, antimatter, proton, neutrons. They are all different effects of the Paramatma. And as a fire is kindled from wood by another fire, this divine consciousness of man can be similarly be kindled by another divine grace. Therefore, one is required to approach the proper spiritual master with receptive ears only. The difference between the animality and humanity lies in this process only. Human being can hear properly, whereas an animal cannot. There are 84 lakh species of living beings, beginning from highest intellectual being Brahma down to the insignificant ant, and all of them are enjoying and in the material world according to the desires. So therefore the Lord is very kind as Paramatma, and he is coming here in various forms to reclaim the living entities. Thus the Lord of the universe maintains all planets by demigods, men and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. So in these verses we are seeing how the Lord comes for the sake of the living entities. As it is mentioned, the Lord as a super soul pervades all things just as fire permeates wood. We see in the wood, if you put small wood piece, small fire will come. Put a bigger piece of wood, more fire will come. So the consciousness is there in every Atma, and the way which kind of species they have taken. In the ant, consciousness is very low. In the tree, they can't feel consciousness. Even you remove the leaves, you cut the wood, they will not feel conscious. In the human form, even as a cow, if a cow feels a lot of fear when a slaughterhouse, when they are trying to kill. That's why they are very careful not to put cow into fear that poison may emanate from its body. The slaughterhouse people, they cut the animal, one shot they'll get into fear. So the slaughterhouse people also have the ways how to kill a cow, because the consciousness is very high there. So the Lord, he is residing in all the living entity. Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddesha arduna tishtati. So in the Bhagavad Gita it is said how Kshetra Kshetrayor Jnanam. We are also there and the Lord is also there in this body. So the Lord is also there to guide the living entity that you are desiring to have something. So I am giving you the facility, but you will not be happy here. Just like a child who is making so much of crying, it is doing galata, I want this toy, I want this toy. The father can supply. Again they say, I want to eat something, father or mother supplies. But suppose they are going to some dangerous things. I want to go and touch some fire. I was recently hearing one story of children who like to drink milk. Similarly, animals also like to drink milk. So in one house, two small puppies who were drinking milk. Suddenly one puppy noticed that there is a milk kind of bottle lying on the top of the window. Actually that was white paint which was left by the carpenters after finishing their housework, and they had gone. But the small puppies thought that that is milk. So one of the puppy jumped. It's in the top of the window. It's difficult to jump, but it started jumping. They don't know how it reached the top, and that bottle fell down because of this puppy jumping and touching it, and it drank that paint or distemper, whatever, which appeared to be like a milk. And the other puppy, one puppy actually drank. The other puppy was worried to see what is that, and it didn't drink. And one puppy actually started feeling unconscious, and it started slipping down, and blood started coming from its mouth. The other companion, its friend puppy, it ran inside the house and called for help. And really, when the house residents, they came to see this puppy, that puppy was almost dying, and it died. You see, when whether it is animals or human beings, they require protection. Children also want to go, and children, babies especially, they keep everything in their mouth. Even old people, when they lose their memory, I was hearing some people, they were saying that one old lady, she had forgotten her memory. She doesn't know what to keep. She was keeping rubber bands in her mouth. Sometimes she will go to kitchen, whatever is there, she will go and put it in her mouth. Sometimes she finds some groundnuts she may eat, that will not harm her. But she will not know what she is eating. Sometimes she may take dry chilies, and without her knowledge she wants to be munching something, she is munching. So she is not even able to know that she is suffering. So they all require protection. So the family members want to protect. A father, mother wants to protect children. But children don't want protection. They cry. At least when parents, in front of parents, they know they are doing some mischief, they are ready to help them. So they are there, okay. Anything happens more than a particular level, we will go and catch them. But when they are not there, when they do something that is much more dangerous. Sometimes children will ask, I want to go and touch fire. So mother will be pulling. Still the children want to run near fire to touch. Especially when power cut has happened and they have kept some candle on a table. Child wants to go close and touch the fire. Again they are brought back. Again they want to go and touch that fire. So sometimes when they are very stubborn, so father will say, mother, you allow the child. Because they are very, very stubborn, they want to go and touch. So when they are so much trying, they are allowed to touch, little they touch fire, they will burn. Oh, next time I will never touch. So there is a facility provided even for drunkards in this world. It's not that a drunkard, actually if he goes and after drinking he will go and create some nuisance on the street, the police will allow them to continue doing that. And the drunkard in his drunken state may say, why there is a shop, liquor shop? Because there is a liquor shop I drank, and now you are saying that I am a drunkard. Because there is a facility to be done, sometimes government allows and sometimes government doesn't allow. When they don't allow, they smuggle from other places or they do some liquor which is harmful for their body. Liquor is always harmful, but at least if they try to make the liquor in a proper format, the drunkard can drink for more years, otherwise he'll die immediately, it becomes poisonous. So they are careful not to make illegal liquor in places. So the government has to facilitate the drunkards, so they have shops, and many times it is not required, it is debatable, but there is a lot of income, so they cannot say no. But government makes facility, so when there is a facility, here is a liquor shop, you can drink, but as soon as you commit some offense by drinking, you are arrested. So in this way, the whole world is running. Either you may blame government or God. Why I have come to this world? There is so much of suffering. God should not have done like this. Actually, God has not done anything. We have actually made a plan how to be without God. We want to be independent of God. That is how. But the God is very merciful. He is not making any discrimination. Just like a judge, he doesn't make any discrimination. He only has to deal with the criminals based on their activities, what crime they have done, and accordingly give the punishment. Now, somebody may say, God is giving somebody so much and they are not giving me. God is not giving me. I have done so much of prayers. It's like bribing. People want to bribe God, like bribing the judge. I have bribed the judge, still he didn't give judgment to me. It is not a judge's duty to take bribe and then give you favorable judgment. So God is very equal. Samoham sarva bhuteshu na dveshyosti na priyaha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am equal to everyone. I am not envious of anyone. But actually he is friendly because he is the only real friend. Why God has created this distress? Because we are suffering. We should be happy. But we don't take it that we have now become independent from the protection of God. Just like a child or animals which are under the protection of a protector in the house, if they go independently try to do something, there will be misery. So we have to understand our position actually, and the dirty thing should be removed in our heart. So to remove dirty things within the heart, it's like a medicine. We have to take the medicine regularly by following the regulative principles. The regulative principles are important because it will give us realization. Otherwise, it is like you are trying to light dry sticks, and when the fire is coming, suddenly you pour water. And if the wood is always in water, you cannot light it also. That is the state of a conditioned person, soul, who is always merged in material happiness. For them it is very, very difficult to come to spiritual consciousness. For a person who is trying to come to spiritual consciousness, he should see to it that he does not become wet by again and again indulging in material activities. Material activities means not that he should stop eating or sleeping or doing his duty. Material activities which give them misery in the name of so-called pleasure, sense gratification, that has to be regulated. So this regulation, the Lord actually shows very mercifully. He personally comes, and when he comes, the Lord wherever he resides, that is called Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, Haridwar, Badrinath Dham. We say Dham, where the Lord resides. And when you go to Vrindavan, when you go to Jagannath Puri, Mayapur, wherever you see the Lord's activities are performed, there we very pleases our heart. There is a Krishna consciousness, God consciousness naturally available there. In Kartika month, it's a habit of all Krishna devotees to go to Vrindavan. And naturally they get surcharged with a higher consciousness. Everywhere there is a recitation of Krishna's name, Radharani name, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, they will be singing. So naturally you will get invoked with this God consciousness. But if you go to Vrindavan, Dham is always ready to help us. But when we go to Vrindavan, and when we, instead of taking right consciousness, we take to a different consciousness, unfavorable consciousness, then we will be condemned. Because Vrindavan is very important, because the Lord resides there. Vrindavan is always helping us, Prabhupada is writing. But if we remain in criminal mentality in Vrindavan, then we have to accept another birth to suffer. Then again you can get elevated because of staying in Vrindavan. Vrindavan influence will act. It is said karmani nirdahati. Karmani nirdahati means if you are taking to bhakti, to devotion, but still you do sinful activities, then you will be punished. Punished means you have to take next life, some hog life or a monkey life or a donkey life or something. Then how has karma reduced to me? Because generally if you become an animal, you have to again go through so many species of life to get human form of life. But in Dham, there is a facility, and that facility, if you misuse it, although you have misused that facility and you have become an animal, that next life you can be elevated. But why we should waste our time becoming hawks and dogs in Vrindavan? In Jagannath Puri we see a lot of monkeys, and these are all previous life. Mostly they would have been some aspirants of devotion. They would have come and they would have performed some sinful activity. But in Vrindavan Dham, you see even that animals, they are playing in the dust of Vrindavan. You see in In Jagannath Puri, when the monkeys actually go and take coconuts, bananas, without their knowledge they take Mahaprasadam, they drink water in the holy tanks of Vrindavan or Jagannath Puri, they get immediately elevated without their knowledge, but they are getting punished. In school days, especially when you are much more younger, if you are not behaving properly to boy children, especially the school teachers will call, why are you acting like monkeys? So sometimes that time they will be giggling, they will be laughing. So don't show your teeth like a monkey, like that teachers will be scolding. The same children, when they grow little more older, that time when somebody says you are a monkey type you are acting, get offended. Especially when your colleagues say that he is like a person, misbehaves like a monkey person, it's so offended. And especially when you get much more name and fame, you are grown up, and they say his face is smiling, he's talking, he is like an animal. It really pains us. If we are being called as monkeys, we are getting pain. Suppose you become a monkey, what will happen? It's a very painful situation. When your consciousness has grown, you know how to eat, how to sleep. You see, for getting one small fruit, how much the monkey has to endeavor. It has to jump on trees, this tree, that tree, always trying to get one little small piece of food or a fruit or some coconut or whatever it is. So much endeavoring. In human form of life, you don't have to endeavor so much. That is the reason in the Bhagavatam it is mentioned why people are working so hard and why they are laboring so much for little food which is so easily available. They have to work hard. They have to labor for a higher purpose in life, for higher realization, for higher happiness, not for only sense gratification or make so-called facilities for the world and you are laboring on it and say that you are advancing in civilization. That is not a fact that you can be happy in that way. So the Lord actually gives us facility by He personally comes. He creates a special place like Vrindavan Dham to reclaim the living entities. And He also allows, just like a father allows to touch fire, He allows the living entities to make their choice. In the next translation, it is mentioned, the super soul enters into the bodies of created beings who are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these by subtle mind. The Lord not only He gives us the facility, but He reminds us also that you wanted to enjoy like this. Asau gunamair bhavair. This whole material creation, we think that it's all happening automatically. There is nothing automatic. Everything is happening because somebody is pushing the button. For a child, when he sees that there is a robotic inventions, everything is happening without any driver behind it, everything automatic, we say everything is automatic. But behind every automation, there is some programming, some coding, everything is done. And this coding is done so nicely by a human brain. So if human brain can decode things, make formulas, how to run, which appears to be like automation. How much automation the Lord can do? The Lord's energy, Swabhavaki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. It appears to be Swabhavaki. It's like, oh, it is automatic. But there is Jnana, there is knowledge, Bala, strength. There is a process. Kriya is there. It doesn't happen automatically. Just like there is one example given that there was a house. We have seen in Los Angeles behind my house the electric post and the wire. The creeper is taking shelter and giving flower and fruits and everything. See, there is some creeper behind one house which has grown, and from the house it has crossed, and from there again leaves, everything is coming. So we can say it doesn't have eyes. How it is running? Now there is Jnana, Bala, Kriya. There is knowledge, power, and there is action. So there is everything. We can see practically how trees are growing, how our body is growing. There are processes there, just like we see there are fibers and muscles even in us. Just like we have muscles, they have fibers. And little discrepancy in our fingers. What is the discrepancy? Here it is mentioned. When there is no regular supply of energy, there will be some disturbance in the holes of the veins and nerve. This is medical science. We also know there is something our finger will not work, or there is some pain. But everything is going on nicely. If there is some problem, but we just like a mission, if some problem is there, we go and they set right it. Just like we go also to the doctor and he can set right it. But all these things are being done not automatically, but there is Jnana, Bala and Kriya. The Lord is running it. Although we don't know how my hands are working. Somebody has written an article, the unknown virus is creating trouble. So the unknown God can protect us. So to retaliate that statement, somebody else has written, the unknown God doesn't know what to do, so the unknown virus is doing whatever it likes. Both way, they are still supporting theism only, because they both accept there is some God. Whether the God is good or bad, they are debating. Somebody is saying is good, somebody is saying is bad. But finally, why they are happening, how they are happening, you don't know how it happens. You cannot see the virus, you cannot see God. But everything is having an action. Reactions are happening. There is a strength, Bala is there. In one article we were reading how the overall virus, how it is affecting the world. It's only some 1 gram or 2 grams of virus which is troubling the whole world. It can shake up the faiths in science and on God, with thousands, millions of people suffering. 1 gram of bacteria can put us in suffering. But still we think that we are so great. I am very great. We have big egos. So the spirituality means to understand how these reactions are going on. There is a purpose for this creation. I have done some mischief. I wanted to be independent from God. So I have been given a facility. So what should I do? So God is giving a facility of approaching a spiritual master and to understand that there is a sukha. You are all after sukham. And that sukham is atyantikam. It is above your senses. Atindriyam grayam. It is beyond your senses. And right now you are trying to enjoy through your covered senses, and these covered senses if you try to enjoy, just like when your tongue is covered, try to drink something, take a rasgulla or honey or anything put, you cannot eat. Or for children, for playing sometime, even for animals, they put something in the container because there are some animals they want to eat the ball. We also noticed how they'll be eating ball and sometimes the ball gets stuck in the throat and it may die also. So sometimes the owners, they try to put something in one bottle which is not a breakable one or too big for it to swallow, and the dog is trying to go and catch it. It can never catch it. It cannot uncover that bottle and take the ball from within it. And it is trying to play this way, that way to remove that, but it cannot remove. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he explains about licking a honey bottle. Honey bottle, if you open and take only, you can take happiness. So this material world, whatever you are enjoying is like this, like licking the honey bottle. We can never get the taste of the honey, but you will be seeing the honey. This material world is like that. It's packaged in such a way, you will be seeing something. You will be feeling, oh, I will get that, but you will never get it. The example given in Shastras is like a donkey which has been shown a grass by the driver who is sitting on it. And he is tying a carrot or a grass in front of the donkey with a stick tied to him. So the donkey is trying to eat. The more he is trying to eat, the stick is also going with him in the front, because he is sitting on the donkey, keeping a stick. At the end of the stick, he has tied some grass or a carrot. So donkey, it will be walking, oh, I want to eat, I want to eat. And it is going front, and that is also moving to the front, and he will never get it. And what he is trying to eat is available there only in front of him. There is grass available, but he will be working so hard, thinking that he will be getting some grass from his washerman, from his owner, from his boss. So we are all working so much to please so many people in this world. And what we will be trying to think that, oh, they will give me some happiness. What they will give? They will say, you are so great. You look so great. And that gives us some kind of satisfaction of being independent from our owner, the real owner, either family or God. So bhakti means sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. You have to come out of that upadi. Then you will get uttama bhakti. Right now, we are always having designations, I am this, I am that, and we never become happy by that. Because we are trying to satisfy our senses in different positions, designations. We feel if I achieve that, I will be happy. And that will never come to the end with happiness. It always comes with some kind of suffering. So somebody is thinking, here it is mentioned, upadi means I am thinking, I am American, I am Indian, I am black, I am a woman, I am a tree, I am this, I am that. This is how bodily designations are. So you have to uncover, and without designation we should be able to take to bhakti. So bhakti actually means it's like it's a training, and the training is, real bhakti is raganuga bhakti. Anuga means you follow, raga means there is some attachment. Real devotion means we should have real attachment to God. Just like in the material world, how children or animals are attached to their toys or to their food. Children are not attached to their food, only junk they like. There is a worry nowadays, they are saying how this junk food can kill children more than giving poison. The doctors are warning because children are sitting in the house without going to school, and they are forced to sit in the house because of such situations. And now parents want to manage them, so they don't mind giving them whatever they ask. But the doctors are warning, you may be giving them poison, slow poison, all junk food which cannot digest. They are saying the worry in the smaller cities. A big city has a smaller city within their house. What is that? Eating junk food. And they are forced to eat because they have no other choice. Parents, if they give them good food, they will not take. So at least we should be able to avoid them eating all this. That is what it was noticed that a 6-year child had grown more than 30 kgs. So it's very difficult for small children itself. They are growing so much of weight. I don't know exactly what is the weight, but still they are becoming more and more fat, or they are not able to digest the food. Not only children, others also, they like to just be eating while watching television or in front of computer or watching some cinemas in YouTube or in some other way. So the real way to come out of it is to come out by becoming a devotee. So here it is mentioned that we have to take up to some regulation, and that regulation is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means we automatically have attachment to God. But Vaidhi Bhakti means we actually don't have attachment, but we are given training. Just like the children from childhood, they are taught tables, they have been taught how to write. You have to write 10 times and come. From in their Montessori kindergarten time onwards, they have taught ABPLE, apple. Like that, they are given training. But it's not that when they grow up, they are expected to be speaking like that. If somebody says, "How are you?" How are you means HOW, AREYOU. Oh, YOU, you, yeah. How are you? It is not expected. You have to grow higher. So Vaidhi Bhakti means it is expected that you have to come to a platform of devotion without you being pushed. You can follow this Bhakti. But if somebody is sticking, it is said that if you are in Vaidhi Bhakti, if you do not try to make further and further progress in devotional service, and if you are simply sticking to the Shastric regulation and do not go beyond that, because Shastric regulation is like that, formality training is required. But if you stick only to that and do not try to improve, then you are Kanishta Adhikari. Kanishta means you are, people come to temple. It is mentioned how Archayam Eva Haraye. They go to the temple. Pujam ya Shraddhaya ehate. If you are doing, you have Shraddha, you require, some people have faith, they are very devoted to deity, they offer their respect, flowers and other things. They have regulative process, circumambulate and all. But one has to go beyond this, and because the real bhakti means, actual bhakta means one who tries to do good for others. Natat bhakteshu chanyeshu. You have to become a madhyamadhikari. If you remain in a prakrita bhakta, prakrita means prakriti, you are under the 3 modes of material nature, and you will always be finding fault in others. You will not try to help them. There are others who can find a mistake to help them. But a prakrita bhakta, he only wants to see mistakes as though he likes to see mistakes. He has got so conditioned to show others are bad. To show others are bad is alright if you are trying to help them. What is the use to show some others are bad when you yourself are bad? So that is a Kanishta Bhakti. Kanishta Bhakti is a Prakrita Bhakta. So here it is said that Sva Nirmiteshu Nirvishto Bhunkte Bhutashe Bhuteshu Tadgunan. So we are not actually enjoying, we are enjoying the interaction of matter and we are thinking we are enjoying. So it's like licking the bottle of honey. And we are in a Prakrita Bhakti stage. So we have to take shelter of a Uttama Adhikari. And when we are in the lowest stage of devotion, we actually are trying to enjoy the material field without entering to the spiritual platform. So what is bhakti means? Jnana karmadi anavrittam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti uttama. Uttama bhakti, we require uttama bhakti. Uttama bhakti means, uttama means udgataha tamaha. Tamaha means this material world, and we have to go above this tamoguna, this material world. So this uttama bhakti is transcendental bhakti. So this is transcendental, and if you are taken to spiritual life, here it is recommended that you have to prosecute your devotional service by regulative principles, then you will come to Uttama platform. But there is no question of disappointment, because if you are attached to your senses and you are in sense gratification, you don't have to get disappointed, but you have to become sincere and serious. Because one time you cannot suddenly come. When you are sincerely trying, then you will, by the grace of Krishna, with the grace of your spiritual master, when you get purified gradually. And there is sometimes, even if you are not so pure, the Lord may give you a special mercy that you may come out of a habit, a bad habit, which you would have developed for so many lives which we don't know. And here, for years together, from your childhood, you have some bad habit. Somebody has a habit of smoking, somebody has a habit of too much watching cinemas, somebody is having a watch of overeating, any bad habit it can be. But by the mercy of the Lord, with spiritual master mercy, it is so easy to come out of all these kind of things. So we have to have patience, because the Lord is very merciful and He comes to reclaim the fallen souls. That is what is mentioned here, that the Lord comes in incarnations of animal, beast, birds and everywhere. So we can't see in animals and in like even in other lower species, the Lord not only He goes, but He also sends His devotees. And the idea is that when the Lord is sending any living entity or He Himself comes, He actually, there are symptoms of it. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken birth, and there were symptoms in Shastras. His grandfather saw, Nilambara Chakravarti, he was a very big astrologer, he saw that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had symptoms of a Mahabhagavata, of a Mahapurusha. There are symptoms of Mahapurushas, how they are. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how his hands were so long, it was reaching up to the knees. So there are many symptoms, how their eyes are, how their nose are, how they behave. Even though he had all the symptoms of a great personality, When somebody addressed him, you are as good as Narayana, or you are Narayana, he used to close his ears, and he used to say, please don't do that. Please don't call like that. To call an ordinary person as God is a great offense. So this is done with the great personalities. They avoid being called as God. Ramanujacharya, when he was hearing that his guru, in his Gurukul, his teacher, when he was saying that how God is not person, or if he is a person, he is an ordinary person, and he gave some example which was offending, he was having tears in his eyes. So the Lord is very merciful, and the devotees, they don't tolerate insult to the Lord, and they don't try to become God. They try to serve the living entities by being the servant of the Lord. That's a symptom of a great teacher. Even though they would have been recognized by the Lord or their incarnation of the Lord, they don't come and show that they are like God or they are powerful servants of God. They always remain very humble. But nowadays, there are societies, there are organizations, especially in the Western countries, they like to purchase by their money. They have a lot of money, have some mantras, and by chanting that mantras, in 3 months you can become God. God is always God. When the Lord is lying in the lap of Mother Yashoda, or is 16 years old or 20 years old, he has the same potency. Not like that they do some meditation, after some years I got some kind of power, energy entered inside my body, and then I became God. Such kind of God is not our Lord, who is mentioned in the Vedas, who is mentioned in the Puranas. He is Adi Purusham, Purana Purusham, Navayavvanam Cha. He is that Lord. So we Western people are inclined, but because after Krishna consciousness is successful, there are many other bogus people also who try to take advantage of the inclination of people and try to go and cheat them. So the acharyas, they warn their foolish disciples, and they warn the foolish people who imitate the spiritualists, but they don't follow it in their life. So the Krishna conscious movement is successful, but there are people who accept cheap incarnations. So we have to take reference from the authorities, otherwise it will be misleading. So don't be misled. Prabhupada is saying as an acharya, don't be misled, this is our request. Because there are symptoms mentioned, and the Lord is ready to help us. In so many incarnation is coming, he is sending his devotees to help us out. The whole Bhagavad Gita is ready in front of us. I was speaking to one very big businessman. So he was mentioning how he was having Bhagavad Gita in front of him, but he is not getting time to read. At least he is endeavoring. I was happy that he was sincere, that he wants to read Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita will be in front of us. At least we should keep Bhagavad Gita in front of us, so we will feel guilty, like this man is feeling, oh, I am not able to read. So Bhagavad Gita is actually giving us knowledge how to come out of suffering. People have a lot of questions, but they don't want to hear. They question the Supreme. How it is Supreme, where is Supreme? Because they don't want to surrender to the Supreme, they want to remain as though they are Supreme. But they can never become the Supreme because they are under material nature. Material nature is very strong. We are Tatastha Shakti, we have to be either with the Lord, or we have to be with Maya. So we cannot be independent from the energies. So the Lord, here it is mentioned how the Lord is taking avatars in this purport also, Prabhupada is mentioning how sadhu shastra guru vakya chitete korya aikya. So we have to take the shelter of sadhu, shastra and guru. These are symptoms how we can, by taking shelter of a real spiritual master, we can get into real consciousness and real happiness. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam ki